Hey everyone, today's video is going to be my Reading Rush TBR. The Reading Rush, previously known as Booktubeathon. I've never participated because this is my first year on Booktube, so it's also my first year participating and doing the Reading Rush. Anyways, I'm really excited to do this. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people are participating. A lot of people are going to be vlogging it. I'm not sure if I'm going to vlog it. I'm currently kind of sort of vlogging my Book Junkie Trials readathon. I'm doing like weekend vlogs for them. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like a full vlog for the Reading Rush. But if that's something that people would want to see, or if I feel like doing it, then yeah, I'll definitely do that. This TBR is kind of tentative because I already have a set 5 that I'm reading for the Book Junkie Trials, and listen, I'm not like other booktubers, but I can't read a lot because my reading speed's not that fast, and honestly, my attention span is pretty small that I feel like I have to jump to a lot of different things. So like I read a book and then for the next like 3 days, I'm just playing video games and then I'll pick up another book. So for that reason, a lot of times my wrap-ups aren't that big, or what I can accomplish basically in a month isn't as big as maybe what other booktubers would do, which is fine. Everyone reads differently and that's all fine and dandy. But because of that reason, and because of the fact that I hate myself and I love to basically set myself up for failure, I've decided to just pick 7 books for the Reading Rush, because there are 7 prompts and you get like a badge for doing all 7 and for reading 7 books, so why not? So the first challenge on the Reading Rush is to read a book with purple on the cover, and for this I decided to go with The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is our Pages and Prose book club pick for the month of July. It's never like you don't have to read it. There's always like 2 options of books that you can read for the month. This was one of them. I've been meaning to read this. So I figured, oh, it's part of the book club. It would be cool to read it with everybody and then discuss. So I'm hesitant still because it's also really freaking thick. How many pages is that? It's like close to 500 pages. Again, I'm already reading a set number of books for the Book Junkie Trials, and that's a whole month long, so I'm trying to space that out. And I do have some bigger books on that TBR, so again, setting myself up for failure, but that's fine. All I really know about this, because I live under a rock and I don't know anything about the Diviners or Libba Bray, but I've heard that it takes place in the 20s. It involves some kind of paranormal element. That's all I really know, but I mean, it sounds great, and I've heard the writing style is really beautiful. I also have a second option in case this one is just a little bit too much for me to handle within the month. And the second option is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I've heard this book is good, and I've also heard it's disgusting and no one should have rated it 5 stars. But, you know, everyone's reading taste is different. And I would really like to see what the commotion is, and it's a romance, so it'll be really quick to read. I've seen some like pictures of people posting lines from the book, and I have to say, I vommed at least 3 times. You know, sometimes vomiting is just a gateway into real love. You guys decide. Let me know in the comments, which one should I read? The next challenge is to read a book in the same spot for the entire time, and for this I'm gonna go with Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. This is volume 3 in the Eternal editions. It's in this beautiful, pretty bind up, and it's got some pages in there with color. There's not much to be said here. It's Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon, and I'm trying to make my way through all of the Eternal editions. So, and it's a manga, so it's easier to read this in one place because it's really not that long. It's a manga. The next prompt is to read a book that you meant to read last year, and for this is where things are going to get a little bit confusing because I've already messed up my TBR for the Book Junkie Trials, but as a scribe I am allowed to swap a book out, and I've swapped a book out, but I didn't want to let this book go. If you watched my Book Junkie Trials TBR, and even my weekend reading vlog that I just uploaded, you'll know that this book is kind of in a high demand for me to read, mainly from my boyfriend. And that's A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Yeah, I just feel like this needs to get read. I've already told him I'm planning to read it this month, so I feel like if I don't do it now, the our relationship is in jeopardy, basically. I don't want to go too much into what this is about, mainly because I don't know much else besides the fact that it's magic and there's multiple Londons, and that's basically all I know. I have kind of started this. I started listening to the audiobook for it. I'm about 40 pages into it. And it's good, and it's also not good. Good because it seems very complex, and I think the more I read it, the more I'll get into it and feel hooked by the story. But as of right now, 40 pages in, I'm really having trouble grasping onto at least one character that I can identify with, and not in like a, oh, we're going through the same struggles, I relate, but more of like a, dude, do you feel real? Do I feel like I can grasp onto what you're feeling and what you're experiencing? Does that feel honest and true to me that I can grab onto? And so far I haven't had that experience. Again, it's only 40 pages in, so I really don't know. But I am going to put a pause on the audiobook for now because, like I said, I swapped this book out with a different book that I'm so enjoying. So I'll revisit this by the time the Reading Rush rolls around. The next prompt is to read an author's first book, and this could be like debut author's book or like your favorite author and go back and find their first book that they ever did and read that. And so for this is where my Book Junkie Trials and my Reading Rush TBR kind of collide. So for this prompt, I'm going to go with Nocturna. This is on my Book Junkie Trials TBR. It's basically the last book that I have to hit on my map. And so I figured by the time I'm reading this, the Reading Rush will definitely be happening. Next prompt is to read a book with a non-human main character. At first I thought this would actually be really difficult to find a book, but I've heard recently that Wicked Fox by Kat Cho works, which I'm really interested in reading, but I'm a broke ass bitch and I can't afford that right now. So it really just came down to what do I already have on my TBR, or what can I find from Scribd. I found this book on Scribd because I was looking for romance novel. I think it was Smutathon at the time. I never got around to reading this, but when this prompt came up and I was like, what book do I want to read? I remembered that I saved this book on my Scribd. For this prompt, I will be reading Touching Paradise. It's a shark shape-shifting erotica. I mean, there's really not much to say with this, right? Should we move on because I'm feeling really high and uncomfortable? It's a really short book. It's less than 200 pages, and I expect some good laughs from this, to be quite honest. The next prompt is to read a book with 5 or more words in the title. One of the books I have on this TBR could work for that. A Dark Shade of Magic could work for that. But again, setting myself up for failure, really want to challenge myself and all that shit. Tell me how you really feel on this TBR. I will actually gift it to me by Aiden Thomas over on Twitter. I'll leave their information down below. You guys should definitely follow them. But this book clearly has 5 or more words in the title, and I actually read the first chapter of this when the cover reveal came out, and I really enjoyed what I read, and I know it's a female-female enemies to lovers, and I'm here for it. The last challenge is to read a book that has a movie adaptation and then watch that movie adaptation. For this, I'm going to be doing The Hunger Games. I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook and then watching the movie. This is actually my first time reading The Hunger Games. I've never read them. I think I tried to read the first one and got about halfway through and then I just gave up. But I did go and watch all of the movies, and I actually really enjoy the movies. I can watch them over and over and not really get tired of them. I'm really excited to read the books now and to really gear myself up for the prequel that's coming out, which I'm super stoked about. So yeah, that was my tentative TBR for the Reading Rush. If you guys are participating, please let me know in the comments below. I'll also leave a link to my friend page for the Reading Rush. Add me as a friend and let's just talk about books, and then I can see what you guys are reading as well. If you guys have any Twitters or links to videos where you made a Reading Rush TBR, also leave those down in the comments below. I'd love to watch them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!